My name is Martin. I have been studying charisma for 3 years straight, and in today's video I will expose all speaking secrets that keynote speakers or very high and successful leaders use. And so you all will know that I'm not bullshitting you. Here is my EQ test and here is my social anxiety test, so you can all know that I'm not bullshitting you. My plan for this video is to take you through 5 most important habits, tricks, tips, techniques that highly successful communicators use, so you can become a much better communicator and get people's attention literally in click of your fingers. Let's start. So the first thing I'm gonna be talking about are the 5 core principles of speaking. I have to give credit to Vin Jiang because I have learned all of these things from him, but because I'm also someone who specializes in social skills, I believe that the knowledge should be spread to even more people. So let's go. So the 5 core principles of speaking is your volume or your rate of speech, your tonality, your pitch and melody, and finally your pauses. I'm gonna explain all of these. First is your volume. When you are speaking and you want people to really listen to you and you don't want people to interrupt you, the most important thing that you can do is to boost up your volume. Because when you are speaking on a very low volume, people will most of the time interrupt you because they will think that, oh, this guy is no longer speaking. So whenever you don't want to get interrupted, just think of your volume as 1 through all the way up to 10. 1 is very quiet. It's probably something like this. And 10 is probably like this. We have all seen leaders or keynote speakers on the stage talking. If they were using a very quiet, this nonchalant, calm voice, this very quiet one, it would highly suggest zero authority, no confidence, and probably most of the time the audience would think like, this guy doesn't even know what he's talking about, like he seems so unconfident in what he's saying. So to create more authority and confidence, we need to elevate our voice volume higher. And how can we exactly do this? I know a lot of people are scared, to be honest, these days, and they will feel like, am I not being too loud? Trust me, whenever you are too loud, people will tell you you are too loud. I will tell you a personal story of mine. Because I'm a YouTuber, I tend to speak with high energy, extroverted energy on camera. But when I was in my school and I have started speaking like this, one of my classmates came up to me and said, Martin, listen, I know you are being so energetic and enthusiastic, dude, but just sometimes you can just go a little bit less volume, okay? Believe me, people will most of the time tell you when you are way too loud, but they will never tell you almost that you are way too quiet. So it's better to speak on 8 out of 10 volume than on like 3 out of 10 volume like this. And to be honest, you just need to practice this. It's completely okay. In your first week of practicing communication skills and your speaking, you will of course be nowhere near someone as good as a keynote speaker. I myself, I have been practicing YouTube and speaking on camera for 6 years straight. So I don't want you to get unrealistic expectations that you're gonna be some godly exception in 1 or 2 weeks or even 1 month. It will take time and practice. And when I will be talking and when I will be done talking about all of these 5 things, about these 5 core components of speaking, I will give you one single solution that will boost the level of all of these to 75-80% even. Okay, now let's go to our rate of speech. Our rate of speech is pretty self-explanatory. Volume and rate of speech can be both measured to 1 to 10. If someone is talking very slowly, like for example I'm talking right now, that's 1 out of 10. And on level 10 right here, you might be thinking of Eminem and his very fast-paced songs and he's talking like this and he's talking very fast right now and I don't know what even I'm saying because I am not really capable of talking very fast in the English language because I'm just learning this English. So you can all see that this varies. And the best thing about rate of speech is that you cannot keep it consistent. I have seen this one person on YouTube and his videos are just so boring because his speaking pattern is always the same. Imagine if I was talking on this video like this. So today I will share you something very important. Today is you would fucking get bored instantly. We need to invoke our enthusiasm inside our hearts. We need to show people that we really care. And that's tonality, but we'll leave tonality for later on. Now, let's talk more about rate of speech. Again, if I was talking on 5 out of 10 rate of speech, you'd get bored really quickly, because you would know and you would be able to detect my speaking patterns, and you would know like, oh, there's nothing new coming up. This guy is just the same the whole video. It's boring. People just cannot stand you, because people most of the time look away with their eye contact. They will just shift their whole body away because they just want to go away. They don't want to listen to someone who is just always on same volume, same rate of speech, same tonality, same pitch and melody, and he's not using pauses. It's just boring. So that's why we need to go ritually crazy sometimes with our speaking patterns. Sometimes you may be using this speech like this. Maybe you want to talk like Mickey Mouse like I'm talking right now. Maybe you want to talk very fast, and maybe you want to skip some non-important information. And maybe if you are talking about something very important, you can slow down. And this is how you can use rate of speech very well. When there is so much junk volume, some stupid information that you don't self even care about, and you don't want the audience care about this information, skip over it by just talking a little bit more fast. Maybe if your regular rate of speech is 5, boost it up to 7 and skip through non-important garbage. You don't need them. And then if something important comes up, slow down, because suddenly you are on 7 and people are like, oh, he's on 7, no. And when you come up to something very important, you slow down and people will be like, okay, he slows down, that means his speaking pattern now changed, I should listen. Because people will know in their mind that, oh, something changed about his voice, and that's when they will listen, because you will go slow. And now, third thing, let's talk about our melody and pitch. And we can also rate this through 1 to 10 right here. 1 pitch for you might be, hello, I'm Mickey Mouse. I need to stretch my vocal cords a little bit because I've just woken up. give me a second. Hello, I'm Mickey Mouse. Hello, Mickey Mouse here. That might be 1 level pitch. And maybe level 10 right here would be a massively low pitch voice, something very masculine. You can imagine Obama talking like this. And again, if you vary this through 1 all the way up to 10, sometimes you might be talking like this, sometimes you will be talking like this. It will create most of the time a really funny atmosphere. Whenever I want to crack a joke, I will usually use a really high pitch or very low pitch. If I use one of these two, it almost always guarantees that the other person will laugh, because they are not expecting me to change all of a sudden. They don't expect me to just go from, my name is Martin, welcome back to this video, and in today's video I'm gonna teach you social skills. They just cannot expect this. It's hard to expect something so unexpected coming along. If you just also vary your volume, your rate of speech, and also your pitch and melody, it will create this awesome, beautiful piano, like the Vin Jiang said. And you can just play the awesome piano, and in this case, the piano is your own voice. Most of the time, pitch is used for conveying something really funny, and it creates this nice melody inside your voice. Because if we just go with medium rate of speech and 8 volume, and we will add no melody or tonality inside it, we will just sound really angry, and people will think that we are raging at them, and people will think that we are screaming at them. But that's why we need to add also the pitch and melody. If I also add pitch and melody to what I've just said, I'll be more like this. Imagine if I was talking to people like this. People will be thinking like I'm angry, or maybe I'm ragey. But I'm not, because now I have integrated a lot of melody and tonality, and most importantly, facial expressions into my own face. And this is not about being fake. It's about remembering that sometimes in a situation it's good to be like this, because it creates this atmosphere, this awesome atmosphere. Now let's go and talk about our 4th step, and that is tonality. And what tonality really is your facial expressions. If you have no facial expressions, you will be like a robot. You can say everything with high pitch, low pitch, with high volume, low volume, fast rate of speech, very slow rate of speech, but if you cannot talk properly with your emotions and in your face, you will not captivate anyone, because they will know like, oh, this guy seems kind of weird. He's AI generated. And we can all see this in old cartoon shows. In old cartoon shows, you can see the character just talking with only his mouth, and his other parts of his face is not animated. He's just like talking like this, and he cannot convey so much emotion. I'm gonna put you a clip of a character from old TV shows, from an old anime, just talking like this, and he just doesn't have any facial expressions whatsoever. And we don't want that to happen, because then people cannot relate really to the character. They cannot relate, oh, he's feeling this, he's feeling that. People cannot really do that. And this creates this another layer of relatability to the person, that he's truly human. We can all understand that if I was talking the whole video like this, so today I will teach you some facial expressions. I cannot teach them because I don't have them. And I have to be honest, we men have this problem a lot of times. We men just go around the world with a resting bitch face, with a poker face. What's up, bro? And we think like we are cool or some shit. But in fact, we seem like AI generated robots. And that's why a lot of girls these days say like, he just doesn't have emotions. I'm not telling you to just go and start crying. No, that's just completely unnecessary. But we just want to show people that we have emotions and that we are human. Because basically, the entire point of charisma is only emotions. If we cannot laugh, we are nothing. We are not charismatic. If we cannot express emotions, nobody's gonna tell us we are charismatic, because they would know, oh, this guy is just a robot. He's a NPC. He was generated by ChatGPT. That's why facial expressions are really important, and it will in some weird way even make your voice sound different. If you are feeling angry, people can usually tell that you are angry. If you are feeling nervous, people can tell you are nervous. If you are feeling happy, like for example, I am right now, you can tell I'm really happy. So it creates that level above in your voice. And finally, let's talk about something very important, and that is pauses. And to be honest, I'm not that really good at pauses. In the last video of mine, where I have reacted to Jack's Spigot Charisma, I was saying a lot of filler words. Things like bro, like he did this, and then like you can do this, and like I was using the word like way too much. And when I looked at that video in the editing software, I was like, I could have just paused. Why would I say the word like if I don't have to use it? And I don't want you to get the wrong idea. I don't want you to cut every single word that you know that you shouldn't use, because then our conversations would look like this. What are you doing, bro? TV. What are you watching on TV? Game of Thrones. Is the show good? No. Dead ass conversations, because you have cut out everything from your dictionary. So we don't want that to happen. But we also don't need to use filler or non-existent words. Filler words are something like, you know, I guess, or what I was using, like. Or maybe using bro or friend way too much. There might be a million different examples. I have seen this one person online, and he was always saying, you know, bro, you know, yeah, bro, I guess, yeah, you know, like, this is... And you are not saying anything. You just said 15 words right now, but you have said nothing. You have said absolutely nothing. And then the second thing are non-existent words. These are things like, words that don't exist. They're just sounds. They're just sound effects at this point. And we need to get rid of these things immediately, because these words reduce our credibility a lot. Imagine if someone were to come up to you and tell you, I'm a charisma expert, and you have to do this, and then you have to yeah, and then to improve your speaking, you would not think that this guy is some charisma expert if he doesn't even know how to speak properly. And now, and how can we get rid of all of these words? It's by just pausing. And I'm gonna tell you the two benefits of pausing. The first one is that if you pause, it creates this awesome anticipation. People just don't know what are you gonna say next. It's just this awesome anticipation, and people are waiting for you to say something that is just gonna hit. And if you say something that is gonna hit, and you pause after that, it's gonna make the line sink even more. Let me tell you something. Last Tuesday, I was on a beach. There was this awesome, big, and huge castle. And then suddenly, right in front of my eyes, a huge plane crashed into the castle. And you can feel that those pauses create this tension. And now I've just remembered that pauses have also a third benefit. So I'm gonna talk about that also. So the first benefit is that it creates this awesome tension and it will let the line sink in a ton. I was shitting yesterday. And the second thing it does is that it will make the other person comprehend what you have just said. Because if a speaker is just talking always and always and always, people don't really have time to comprehend the information that he is saying. We need a little bit time to comprehend what he's saying. Imagine if I was talking like this. If you said mama, and then you will just use pauses to reduce, and then actually I think volume is better than rate of speech, because volume you can be loud as fuck, and then yes, I know a lot of people are not talking like this, but it feels that way in the long term. If you don't use pauses, people will feel the information overload. If you use pauses, they will not feel that, and they will understand the situation in a much better way. And the last and final thing why pauses are so good is that pauses destroy non-existent and filler words. And also pauses give you time to think. Objectively, we are using like, I guess, when we have nothing else to say, when we are trying to think about something, and these words give us space to think about our next sentence. And now, instead of saying like, instead of using these, why don't we just push them to the side and we'll use pauses instead. So it will look something like this. My name is Martin, I have been studying charisma for 3 years straight. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you how you can improve and enhance your speaking abilities. Much better. No ums and ahs in that sentence, everything was clear and to the point. And when I paused, it gave me time to think about what am I gonna say next. So pauses creates a cool tension and makes the line sink in. It will give the viewers and the listeners time to comprehend the information that you are saying. And lastly, it will give you time for yourself to think about your next line, and it reduces the filler and non-existent words. Now I realized pauses are fucking overpowered. They are just so good. Tension makes the line sink in, makes the people understand your message, and finally destroys filler words and gives you time to think. What else do you need in becoming a better communicator? Like, this is so overpowered. Let's move to another step. And now I'm gonna be talking about ending your sentences with a low pitch. If you are speaking to someone and you end on a high pitch, it makes you feel like you don't know what you are talking about. And to be honest, a lot of people are guilty of this, even myself. I sometimes end on a high pitch. When I'm telling a joke and I end on a high pitch, it's funny because it should be funny. But if you're trying to tell someone that you have authority and you know what are you talking about, the best thing is to end on a low pitch. Let me show you how this looks like. Hi, my name is Martin, I am a charisma expert, and in today's video I'm gonna show you how you can improve your social skills. I'm gonna tell you how you can become a better listener, and then I'm gonna tell you also how to become a better speaker, and yeah. It makes everything feel so rushed. Why are you rushing? What are you so afraid of? People who rush are usually the ones who want to get out of the conversation ASAP, because they are way too afraid what the other person is gonna say. So when someone is ending on a high pitch like it takes the credibility away. Remember, girls can get away with this. Us guys really cannot, because when a girl ends on a high pitch, it's usually cute and it's very submissive and people like that because she's a girl. But when women end on a high pitch, we look very, very weird and people are gonna take our credibility like this, like vultures. So that's why we want to end on a low pitch. My name is Martin, and in today's video, I'm gonna teach you about social skills. I'm gonna give you 5 steps how can you improve your listening and also your speaking. Now I feel much more in control because I'm ending on a low pitch, and it creates that I have much more authority about the subject that I'm talking about. Let's move to another thing, and this is articulation. Like, we have all seen those British people, bloody bro, I don't know what you are saying, bro, what? I would love to go, and we just cannot understand them whatsoever. And it's the problem with articulation. And my honest solution to this is to just open your mouth more. And now I have realized one thing. Let's go back to the 5 core principles that I've been talking about. I forgot to tell you that one thing that will make all those 5 principles, except pausing, will all those 4 principles, rate of speech, volume, melody, and pitch, all those things can be trained by one singular thing, and that is the siren method. If you take a book and you start reading the book, try to alternate your pitch, your volume, your rate of speech, and your facial expressions and tonality. Unfortunately, I don't have this book in the English language, but let me show you how would this look like. My name is... Let's practice our pitch and melody, okay? My name is Martin, and today I'm gonna show you how you can become a better communicator. And in today's video, I'm gonna also teach you about social skills and how you can improve your listening slowly but surely. I'm not Mickey Mouse, I'm a big, strong, and honest man. And this is how you can improve all those 4 factors. And maybe also pauses. You can just pause when you want something to sink in. So take a book and start. Okay, today I'm gonna practice my pitch and melody. My name is Martin, and in today's video I'm gonna teach you how you can become a better communicator. Just do this, alternate between the pitches, and it will stretch your vocal cords. You could actually see that at the start of this video, I was not able to do Mickey Mouse voice because my vocal cords were not stretched enough. And now I was talking about articulation. Really, what you need to do is to open your mouth more and over-articulate everything that you are saying. I know at the beginning it will be really uncomfortable, but after some time, you will slowly but surely get the hang of it, and it will become a second nature to you, and you will be able to articulate everything immensely great. Because your brain will just suddenly know like, whoa, okay, we're developing a new habit, so let's start articulating our words in a better fashion. And this is how you will go from bloody and then I'm gonna come, so I will smoke you little lad, and then this, whatever this is, to like, oh, I said the like, okay, now I have to be careful about my filler words. You have heard me say the word like, I should have paused in that, okay? I'm also learning, guys, with you all. So, we don't want to be this, we want to be more like, more sophisticated, more pleasant to look at, more pleasant to listen to. If we are this type of person, people will most likely put us in a box of a very sophisticated and very smart person. If you talk like this, people will think that you are a redneck. People will think that you are some subhuman monkey. They will put you into a category of, oh, this guy is just a homeless motherfucker, he's just broke, he's stupid. But if we articulate our words in a much better fashion, people will think like, of course, he's just a good person, he looks wealthy, he looks well dressed, he looks nice, he looks handsome. People think that, and they will put us into a box of positivity. And the last thing I want to talk to you about, because at the start this video should be only those 5 core principles, but because I like talking about social skills so much, I will give you another tip. But before that, subscribe to this channel so you will not miss any more communication and charisma advice later on. So the last thing I want you to... I cannot speak. So the last thing I will talk to you about is the thing that I have been doing this whole video, to be honest. And it's my hand movements. I have been the whole video going with my hands like this. I have been creating things and I have been formulating things with my hands. And what this really does is that it will make the other person visualize what is actually happening. And the other person will know that you are constructing something. And let me tell you the 2 most important things that hand movements are doing. First thing is that it will make a visual effect for the person that is listening to you. Because if I was just talking like this, you would get bored pretty quickly. Imagine if I was not also using any facial expressions. Now I will be just talking like this. What do you think right now about me? Maybe I'm a robot. Maybe I was sent by the government to hurt you. And you'll think that I'm not a real person. But if you communicate with your hands, people have that engagement. I think we have all seen the videos when there are sound effects, when this screen start changing, there are zoom in, zoom outs, and that is the visual effects that we can use. Also, you can see that I'm leaning in, I'm leaning forward, and I'm creating this difference with my body. Don't think about this as fake. Think about this as entertaining the people, because we on this world are not here for us. I'm not here on this video to tell you that I'm some special charisma. Blah, blah, blah. I want to teach you something. I want you to become a better communicator and to be more successful with people. This is the first thing. It will create this visual image and people will not get bored easily. If I was just talking like this, you would get bored pretty quickly, because yes, I'm using my head, I'm going in and out, but there is nothing here, no hands here. And now I look like someone who is AI generated. And the last thing that hand movements create... Wait, what? Yeah, if you guys are wondering what this dumbass is doing, he just forgot what he was originally talking about. So that's why I'm here. And I'm gonna share with you what is the second great and awesome thing about hand movements. If you are doing hand movements, people will usually not interrupt you because they will know that you are talking. When someone has no physical presence, in this case, they are not using their hands whatsoever, they will fall behind because people will start to interrupt them much and much more, because people will usually think that you are not speaking when you are not using your hands. But imagine if someone was speaking and using their hands also. Then it's really hard to interrupt them, because then we will all know that the other person is talking about something. And the last thing what hand movements will do is that they will make you more open and they will make you feel awesome. Because imagine if I was talking to you like this. So today is the new day, and in today's video I'm gonna teach you social skills. My name is Martin, and there is something just missing. There is some emotion in my face. There is the whole emotion in my body is just suddenly different. At the start of the video, I was just, my name is Martin, and I was talking with my hands more. If you are not talking with your hands yet, I highly recommend doing that, because it will make you, in your own head, a more open and honest person. And you give also the other people more visual cues. So that's the second thing. It will make you feel much more open. And I have a special surprise for you. I have made a full community of people who are just like you, who want to improve their charisma and their social skills. You'll get also access to me as your charisma and communication skills expert, and I will rate anything that you want. Your speaking, your social skills, your charisma, your listening skills, your body language, your persuasion, anything that you ever want. And lastly, you will get access to 30 plus hours of lectures and courses made by me about first impressions, body language, speaking, charisma, listening, first impressions, persuasion, manipulation, storytelling, leadership, so many things. So if you are interested in that, click the first link in the description. Me and the whole community will see you there. Live a happy life. I will see you in the next one.